Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on how to make your Instagram more aesthetically pleasing. So this could go along for your Instagram and your YouTube and just your whole aesthetic in general. So I decided to do this because someone messaged me and asked me how did I get a theme going on my Instagram page. So basically what an aesthetic Instagram means that you have a style to your Instagram, so it's consistent and has a vibe. People see your page and they automatically kind of see what you're about, your vibe and your color scheme and stuff like that. So I decided to do this. Now I hate using the word aesthetic because I feel like a lot of people just use that word and they kind of make fun of it, like, oh, it's so aesthetic. But an aesthetic just means that it's visually eye appealing, so to other people, to you, whatever the case is. So to be honest, I just started doing this kind of, and I don't actually go super hard with the aesthetic, but I do try to kind of make it all have a vibe to fit my style and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give you guys some tips on what I do or what you can do in general. It doesn't just have to be your personal Instagram, it could be a business one as well. So I hope that you guys find these tips helpful, and if you want more videos like this, then just let me know. And by liking the videos, if you guys put the thumbs up, then I can kind of get more of a general idea what kind of videos you guys want. So without further ado, let's go on to the video. So I feel like a lot of people don't really care about what their Instagram looks like. I feel like majority of people do, or they just started doing this recently. So pretty much it just kind of helps you bring more of the vibe to it. Now if you guys are a perfectionist, I feel like this probably will fucking kill you, because it is kind of like, it is going to require some work. So I will say that off the bat. So if you try to do an aesthetic for maybe 2 pictures and you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm over it, I'm just going to post other things, and then you want to go back on there again, it does kind of mess up the flow of your Instagram. Also, you have to be cautious of like what you're posting first and how it's going to look, because we don't yet have that control where you can move everything around. I feel like Instagram's going to do that pretty soon. It is going to take some work, and you are going to have to kind of work your way around that. So just wanted to put that out there for you guys, and if you guys do get inspired, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so the first recommendation that I have to you guys is to select a color palette. Now this is very important because it is going to really change up your Instagram if you keep more of a consistent flow with the color palette. Now you don't have to be limited to one color only. It could be with a lot of colors that match, or maybe they contrast really differently. So just selecting a color scheme that you can work with is the best option to start. So for example, me, I'm sure if you guys seen my YouTube videos, you guys have seen my Instagram, my favorite color palettes are around orange, mustard, anything that you guys see, brown, red, those are all my favorite kind of colors to work with. Now that naturally works for me because those are the colors that I see. That's the color that I pick. If I'm going somewhere and they have the option of either any of those colors, I'm gonna pick that color because that's something that I naturally like. So I would recommend you guys to pick either your favorite color or something that you really like, or something that you're actually around a lot, because you are going to be using this color a lot. So just keep that in mind. You can also do black and white. It doesn't have to be an actual color. So depending on the theme that you want and how you want to make others feel when they go into your Instagram, or maybe it's a certain era, or maybe a certain theme that a lot of people use. So if you have no clue, like I said, I would suggest to kind of just look around and what you're naturally attracted to. Or you can also go on Google and just search color theories and color harmonies. So I took a color theory class, so I know that certain colors do make certain people feel a certain way. So don't use blue if you don't like blue and you're forcing it to work. It's gonna be a lot easier for you to just work with it because it's colors that you like. So step would be to just define your style. So are you more girly? Are you more laid back? Are you more glam? What is your definition of you? So for example, like me, I honestly personally don't like glitter, I don't like diamonds, I don't care about all that stuff. That's not who I am. So I'm not gonna include pictures of diamonds or like diamond necklaces or anything that's really glam, because I'm not really glam. I'm glam, like I like to get ready and I like to get dressed up, but in my own way. So I just keep that in mind and I make sure that I stick to it. So, and if you have multiple styles, you can also work with that, but I do feel like that'll be a little bit harder. As long as you kind of keep a color palette and aesthetic, it doesn't have to necessarily be like only red shirts if your color is red. No, but you can do it on red backgrounds or red props or red roses or like whatever it is to kind of keep it consistent. So yeah, just define your style, what you like, what you don't like. Don't post what you don't like just because you want it to flow. Does that make sense? Use filters or use colors on the Instagram app or just different apps in general. So that kind of helps it keep it consistent as well. I do know a lot of people that kind of use the same filter throughout all their pictures to kind of keep it together. I know a lot of clothing places do that. So just to kind of keep it like consistent and kind of just give it a mood, because you're using clothing, so at the end of the day you're gonna have a lot of different patterns. So that's why I'm saying you can still keep it. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's all you wear, if that makes sense. So just use filters, apps. An app that I really like using is called Lomograph. So I will show it to you guys. I'll put like a little screen cap of it right here. It's a really cool app. It kind of has certain different colors on here, so I'll show you guys. So this is just a little sample, but it kind of has different colors of the apps, sorry, right there, and you can kind of really like set a mood for that. So you can also use the ones on Instagram. I don't always use filters, but I do. There is a specific filter in the Lomograph app that I use, and I really like it because it really warms up the picture and sometimes it makes the picture better. Now I personally don't like to use a filter on every post, but I'll keep it maybe in between, or if the picture does look a lot better with the filter on, then I will use the filter. But I don't like to use a filter in every single picture. You could do that, but I personally don't like that, so I don't do that. But you can also go on the Instagram app, and let's just say this picture right here. So on here, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options that you can work with. So just by putting the saturation up, or maybe just using these colors, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you guys know this, but you can click on the color and then kind of balance how yellow or how much you want it. So as you guys can see, just by doing that, it does give it more of like a vintage feel to it, which is kind of like what I like to do on Instagram. So here's an option that you can do that too, and then you can just brighten it up more. So, and then there's also the highlights. So sometimes I'll just do one shadow and then one highlight, just depending on the mood that you want. So the only app that I use is a Lomograph app. I really do like that one. I just literally just use one filter on there, and depending what I'm wearing with, it always looks different. So you don't have to use a bunch of different apps. Again, you have total control over it, so just keep that in mind. And then I also do use a lot of Photoshop. That's because I've been using Photoshop for years, so naturally that's what I use. But that's only if I'm at home at my computer and I want to make it better. But I wouldn't suggest the Photoshop app, so don't get that because it really doesn't do what you could do on the actual desktop. But I like to kind of mix around the color balances and just really get a different mood and like super custom. So I do like doing that. So if you guys do use Photoshop and you know about that, that's another great option as well, and it'll help it keep it more consistent as well. So another suggestion that I would advise to you guys is to use props or bits and pieces of your style. So for example, not everything has to be a selfie, not everything has to be a whole outfit of the day. Just take bits and pieces. So for example, what I like to do is sometimes I'm wearing bell bottoms and I'm wearing platform shoes that are really cute and that I really love, and that if you follow me for my style, it's consistent to what I'm posting, and I'll take a picture of that showing my bell bottoms and just the shoes. So my face is not in it, so it's a lot different than just taking a whole picture where I'm featuring the shoes, but it's not the main thing. So that's another great way, and that's a great transition piece as well. Like it just kind of goes with the flow. Now you can also go on Instagram and search this. You can go on Google and search it, but for the most part, getting little props as well does help. So like a little pillow, or maybe like a little frame, or like a little wall ornament, like I don't know, just little props, little plants. I know people use plants and stuff like that as well. So just get little props and bits and pieces of your style, and that will really make a difference on your Instagram. I do sometimes go into thrift stores and I see different styles that will work for other people. So sometimes I see stuff that's really sleek. There's sometimes that I see stuff that's really vintage, old school, 80s, whatever it is, whatever your theme is. I would suggest going to a thrift store because one, is cheaper, and two, nobody else is gonna have that prop. Nobody else is gonna have that. So as opposed to me going to Target and they have, you know, prop and I buy it, but it's like everybody else could just have that same prop. It just makes it more unique, more reason to follow you, and just more better, and you feel good about yourself, you know what I mean? And you can use it for your home as well. Another suggestion is to just be creative on your Instagram. Now I know that just sounds like, oh, creative, like, you know, sometimes people say creative, but then they like think too hard to be creative. So change up the pictures, don't keep them consistent, change it up. Don't stay in the same safe zone. I know that sometimes I keep it consistent, or sometimes I'll totally switch it up. Just try to kind of visualize what would look good. So I've gone to the point already that if I see something and I'm like, oh, that would look cute like this with my nails here, or do this with my ring here, then I just already see it and I take the picture, because those kind of pictures are the ones that are going to be so helpful when you're trying to find pictures in between or just in general. And it really catches the mood and the vibe, and it just makes me feel good to know that I'm kind of creating this little creative space for me. And the props, take a picture of your lashes, maybe up close, maybe zoomed in, maybe out, maybe, you know, here with like something in the background that'll be blue, like an up close with blue in the background, like something like that. Be creative. Don't just like be like, okay, I took a picture and it's green right here. Like, try to change it up, do up close, or do your favorite lipsticks, compare next to it right here. Like, just think outside of the box and don't do what everybody else is doing all the time. So for example, like sometimes me, if, you know, I have like a ranch or western theme going on, then I can go on, you know, if I'm somewhere like in Joshua Tree or something and there's a cactus, and I'll take a picture of my nails that are orange and I put the cactus and I'll take a picture. Okay, now let me take a picture with this. Like, just try different things. At the end of the day, all it takes is 1 second for you to just literally click it, and you can have them saved. You don't have to use them. If you do, great. If you don't. Those kind of pictures are gonna come in handy. Just think outside the box like that and just keep it going, where it's like a daily thing, not like, oh, well, I already took my picture, so I'm done. You know what I mean? So try to really like live it and like take different pictures. This is how I told you guys to select a color palette that's naturally you. It will make it so much easier. So just live your aesthetic. So for me, this is what my home is like. This is where my office is like, my creative space is like. I try to surround myself in it all the time to keep myself consistently inspired. And it's not like I chose this orange color and was like, oh, let's just paint it then so it matches. It's like, no, that's what I like, that's what I see. I started seeing a pattern in myself of certain things that I liked and different artwork that I liked, and it always revolved around this color scheme. So I just decided to naturally do that. And like I said, it'll just make it so much easier for you, because for example, like this wall right here, I can use to make a YouTube video. I can take a cute Instagram picture here, a selfie or something. So it just helps to have it in your aesthetic. Everything's a prop to me. Everything is cute, and I love it when I come home and it's like a reminder. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Just live your aesthetic and just enjoy it. So if you're at home and you realize that you have a lot of marble and pink, then maybe that's your aesthetic and that's what you like. So it would naturally make sense to make it into your Instagram. Like right now, my boyfriend built me like a little office and everything, so I'm still working on that right now. It's that like mustard orangey. It's like a mix between a mustard and orange, and now I have multiple different background colors. So I have a light orange right here, and then I have my rust, I have another rust out there, and then now I have the mustard and yellow. And we're working on more, like I have like a wooden thing here. So we're working on different things that just look good, and additionally on top of that, they make great for YouTube videos for aesthetic purposes. So it's so much easier. Just make sure that you're living that aesthetic, because it's gonna make more sense. People are gonna be more attracted to you. It's a lifestyle. So that's what a lot of people is. Sometimes they'll post something, but it's not like literally their lifestyle or anything. And there's nothing wrong with being different styles, but again, try to kind of live your aesthetic. So I know, what's her name, there's a thrifter girl, I forget her name, but she does thrifting videos, and she has like, I think the color palette of like red, blue, and yellow or something like that, and her room is like that. So it just helps naturally, if that makes sense. So paint your walls. I know in certain apartments you can't paint your walls and stuff, so then you can substitute by either getting like a big canvas and painting that canvas, or drapes, or a background, or whatever you can. One suggestion I have for you guys that's really big is this. So I have this, I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's just a blank sheet. The 99 store does have some, but they're like bright neon colors, so unless you're into that, then I wouldn't go there because it kind of sucks. But look, I can use this as a background as well if you can't paste if you can't paint your wall. And if you just zoom in, I could do an eye tutorial like this. Take a picture. I get multiple of these where it'll be big enough for you to take a full body or something like that. And this was 74 cents on sale at Hobby Lobby. I believe they're like about $2-3. But I mean, come on, that's like such an easy investment. And what I really like about that, even though I have this, I have the other walls, is sometimes I want to take a picture of bag or something, and I don't want to hold the bag up because obviously I have to hold the bag up against the wall, then you'll see my hand. So what I like about that one is you can take the pictures on the floor. And again, this goes with your business as well. They also have fake wooden stuff at Home Depot. Like, they have little packs of them, and I think they're like $20 to $30. You can use that as well if you want to take pictures or you want to have a wood look. There's just so many different ways that you can do this. And again, going thrifting, like, there's just so many different ways, and this is a good way for me to take pictures of things on the floor if you want to lay out your makeup and do your favorite rust eyeshadows or whatever and lay it out on this. Like, it just helps your Instagram be so much easier. So just live your aesthetic, be for it, and that's how you'll also define your style. And that's kind of what happened to me. Like, I kind of just started realizing what I liked and collecting it and getting it, and then I don't know where I was like, dude, this is all I see and this is what I am. So that kind of really helps as well. And now it's crazy because a lot of people recognize my style, or like, it's not that they recognize it, but sometimes we'll be talking and they'll say, oh my god, like, your whole vibe, this and that. And honestly, that's a great compliment. So another suggestion I have for you guys is to download the app called Unum. So it looks like this. I'm gonna zoom in to show you guys. So it's this app right here. So I think this is like a reminder app or something like that. But what I really like about it is that you can kind of add your pictures. So it will load your Instagram feed for you, but you can kind of ignore it and just create the same one so that it's 3. And then you can add the pictures and you can delete the ones you want to add. So like, if I want to add a picture right here to see how it looks, if I just click that one and then that one and that one and that one, like, if I want to post, then you just click done, and then it will lay them out for you right here, and then you can kind of change them up and see, okay, if I post this one first, what will look better, and so on and so forth. You can kind of move them around to see how your Instagram will look like. So I really do like that. I feel like it does help you kind of prepare for what you're going to post and stuff like that. So for the most part, I just use a Lomograph, that one, and then Facetune sometimes, just to fix little imperfections here and there. Another one suggestion I would have is to use quotes or sayings to break apart your pictures. So again, you don't want to post like selfie, selfie, selfie. I mean, unless you want to. I'm not going to say you don't want to, because that's what I don't do. So I don't post like a selfie, selfie, selfie back to back unless there's a sole purpose for me to do that. Well, you can use quotes or generate quotes even if you use an app to make quotes and stuff. I would personally just do it on Photoshop, because you guys, I don't use apps and stuff like that because I'm just raised I've been trained with Photoshop to do everything, and you have more control with Photoshop. You can really control the text and everything. Apps only give you certain options, so you can really customize it in Photoshop. So if you guys do know about Photoshop, or if you guys would like to see a tutorial of me showing you how to do that on Photoshop, it's very simple. You would just need to get the program, or if you already have the program, let me know. But you can really customize it, because you can even put your own pictures and stuff. Like, there's just so many options that I literally get overwhelmed with it. But I don't really do that right now. I'm thinking about maybe doing it, and you can kind of write quotes that pertain to your style or your Instagram or your followers or whatever. So that's another option. You can also search for other people, so it's totally up to you. You can use a color that you're generally using to also emphasize that on your Instagram. So again, I know a lot of people don't care about this, and if you don't, then that's great, because it's a little stressful. But if you do want to give more of like a sound brand yourself, this is a great way. Again, I think this is really good for businesses as well. So if you guys have any more recommendations or suggestions, or tell me what you guys do, share it down below so other people can see. Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if it was helpful, or if maybe it inspired you to kind of start on your aesthetic. So if you guys want to know how I discovered my aesthetic, or it kind of just started coming to me, let me know. I can do a video about the one piece that I found that kind of changed it for me. To follow me on Instagram. And as always, I am wearing Atomic Makeup. You guys know that's my favorite lipstick brand. So right now I'm wearing the color Chelsea. It's like a little nude orange tone, and it's so pretty. I fucking love it. So if you guys do want to order something from Atomic Makeup, you guys can use my code TheFashionMess for 15% off. I'll put the link down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.